Okay, this is going to be a tutorial on how to start to look at the Photoshop program. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to go into Information Technology, double click to open it up, open up Photoshop CC 2014. We also have Photoshop Elements program, which is sort of it's got all the elements that the CC program has. It's watered down, it's easier to look at. I want to show you guys this program because there's a lot more that you can do with it right on the first page, and it's sort of characteristic of a lot of the Photoshop programs that you'll see. Okay, so here we go. We've got the Photoshop program open. First thing you do is go to File, top left hand corner, click on the Open function. There we go. Once you have it open, you can navigate to your photos, and that's where we're going to be having a lot of your work. It's just a little slow in responding here. It's just opening up. Here we go. So we've got our pictures, and that's where we're going to be saving your photos for. And you're going to make a folder that's called Pictures for IT 7. So you'll have that folder open for yourself, and you'll be able to select a photo. Now we're going to pause this here for a second. I'm going to show you how to set that up for yourself so you've got that. So close that up. I'm going to minimize my Photoshop, and I'm going to go into my computer. There's my computer there, and on the left side you'll have a place where it says Pictures. You double click on Pictures. Now I already have a folder here set for myself, so I'm just going to copy that out and drag it out. So yours will look more like this. You're going to go and make a folder for yourself. To do that, you right click inside Picture Library, go down to where it says New, and then click Folder if you haven't done this before, obviously. And you're going to call it Pictures for IT, standing for Information Technology 7. There we go. So you make yourself a folder like that, and so you've got it. Next thing to show you would be where to get pictures that go into that folder and how to save pictures in that folder. So in order to do that, we're going to go on to the internet. As a matter of fact, actually, I've done something a little more simple than that. Instead of going on to the internet and doing a Google search for something, what I did is I did a Google search for puppies, pictures of puppies, and I saved it as a link, and I put it into your Information 7 Technology folder. So you'll see that there. Pictures of puppies, you can go back to that folder, and I'm just going to minimize that window, and then click on the pictures of the puppies. This is the link to get on. Double click, open it up. There we go. So it'll bring you to this website. It's got all sorts of different puppies on it. And what you can do is you can click on a puppy that you think you like, or actually pick about 5 to 10 different pictures, and then copy and save them into your Photos folder on your computer in the folder that you just created. So to do that, pick one that you like. Now when you're looking for pictures, I want you to pick ones that have a different color background than it does a foreground. So the foreground being the images, the puppies. Make sure that they're a different color than the background is. So you can see the green, really bright green and sort of yellow colors contrasting really well with the two dogs that are there. When you found the photo, right click on it and then click Save Picture As, and then navigate to your Pictures folder and then your Pictures of IT7. There you go, and save your picture there. Again, pick a number of ones. I want to get you guys to select ones with a different color for the background and the foreground. Right click and then save them. You don't have to worry about naming them or anything like that, but just go through and pick some ones that you like. I picked this one in particular because it has a really contrasting green to the color of the dogs. So save picture as, there we go, and you're going to save a whole bunch. Alright, I'm going to close this up, go back into my Photoshop program, And I'm noticing that I don't have an icon at the bottom here that I can see. Maybe it's, oh, there it is. This one here, it's hiding. You can also go to your original Photoshop in your folder, and you can double click on that and it'll open it up for you there. Alright, so again, back now to inside of the Photoshop program and how to bring that photo into your program. In the File menu, where it says Open, click on that. And now we navigate to your Pictures folder. That's what we made, our Pictures of IT7. Open it up, and you can see which ones you've got in there. I'm picking on the Cute Dogs JPEG. I suggest that you actually, for this lesson, pick the same one that I'm doing as well, just so that you have something that's really similar to work with, and so you can do all the things that we're going to be doing in the lesson here. So if you haven't already selected and copied that picture in there, go and get it right now, and then come back, pick up the lesson where you're leaving it off right here. Anyhow, so I'm going to carry on. I'm going to open the picture up, and it'll open up for myself. We're going to look at a couple of the functions and features of the Photoshop program. One in particular is the image. I believe it is here. Yeah, in the image drop-down menu, it says duplicate. One of them, so you're going to duplicate this picture. It asks you to name it. Just click OK, name that one, and now you have two pictures exactly the same. What you're going to do is you're going to modify one of the pictures quite drastically. In fact, in the later part of the lesson, at the beginning, you're just going to change one of the two by selecting Image and then Adjustments. There's lots of adjustments you can do to a picture, like brightness, levels, curve, exposure, vibrance. All these things you can change. So you're going to experiment with yours after. To begin with, we're just going to change to become black and white. So something very simple. So pick black and white, and it will ask you what are the default settings. These are all the reds and yellows and greens and cayennes and blues and magentas in the picture. And here's the percentage of all these things. Notice there's none of these percentages here, but all the rest of these actually have some color percentage. So you can see that. You can actually adjust that, but for the sake of the lesson, just leave it as where it was. Okay. So there's our black and white copy. We've got a colored copy as well. You're going to go to your colored copy next, and you're going to pick a tool. The tool is, I'll just see if I can get the name come up here. It's called the Magnetic Lasso tool. I don't know if you can see that in your copy, but that's the tool. It's the third one down on the left. And if you right click on it, you can get a lasso tool, polygonal lasso tool, and a magnetic lasso tool. You want to select the magnetic lasso tool. It's kind of handy. It makes some decisions about what you're trying to select on its own based on the color differences. So anyhow, the little arrow on the top corner of it, you want to click on an edge. Try clicking on the middle dog and just drag the mouse cursor around the top of the head, and you can see that it starts to decide what's in the image and what's not in the image by putting little boxes on the line that you're dragging around. So just keep going until you get to about the ear. When you get to the ear, it's going to sort of not be able to decide. See, it picked in the middle of the ear there. So what you can do is you can actually click where your mouse is and make the decision for the computer. So when it's having a hard time, that's a good idea to do. Just kind of move your mouse closer to the last box and make the selection for it. Now I could go up where the ear goes around the face there, or I don't want to do that. I want to just click the entire dog. So I'll keep dragging straight down. There we go, till I get to that yellow section. Looks like maybe a wheelbarrow, probably. And I'll keep clicking around there, and I'll see it's starting to make its own decisions now. I can see the difference between the two. I'll click there. It didn't actually decide, so I'll decide. And then I'll go around the ear here. And there we go. It's working good now. Back up to the top and back to the beginning. There we go. So once I get to the beginning, I click on the first box I made, and then the whole thing gets highlighted. Now to copy, a couple of functions you can use. Edit, copy if you want. or you can just press Control C. That's what I like to do. It's a keyboard shortcut. And now I'm going to go back to the black and white photo. And I'm going to press the Control V, and I want you to see what happens here. There we go. There's my dog. It was moved out of its original position. So not what you want to do. Instead, we're going to go, I think it's a File, or is it Edit? Yeah, Edit, Undo Paste. That moves you back a step. There will always be a function in the Edit function, or the Edit panel rather, that you can back up a step. And when you copy it, click on the Edit again, and where it says Paste Special, you want to paste it in place. And that'll paste the dog exactly on where it was before. Now, what you've created is sort of a montage. It looks like the old-fashioned photo that was taken, the one you see in Time magazine, and it's got a color image inside of the black and white photo, and that's kind of neat. So anyhow, that's one of the effects that you can work on, and what you can do is you can change the foreground and the background to whatever you want to do, and then you can mix and match the elements of that picture and make something really stand out on it. And as part of your website, you're going to create a picture that does this. Now you can go back into the image and into the adjustments and change whatever you want to one of the two pictures before you copy and paste one of the images onto the other. And then after you've done that, then you can call that the image that you want to use for the website. So anyhow, you're not quite done yet. You're almost done. You have the original photo that you copied from, and you have the other photo. This was actually the first one that you brought into the program, and you'll notice something in the bottom right hand corner for both of them. So have a look. For the one that you made the duplicate of, you notice there's only one photo there, and then for the one that you just copied and pasted onto, you notice that there's two layers. So there's the thing about these layers is that when you want to save a photograph and be able to use it later, you have to merge the two layers together, and so it's only one photo. And if you didn't do that, it would just save one of the two elements. So for example, if you saved right now, you would just save layer 1, and it wouldn't save the background. So anyhow, we want to save both together in this case. So we click I believe it's the layer button, that's right, and where it says merge down, it merges whatever's selected, whatever's highlighted over here, and everything underneath it as well. So click merge down, and it'll merge all of your photos together so it's one picture. Now the original image, I should say the duplicate image that we've got, we can actually close that. We don't need that anymore. Ask us if we want to save it. We don't have to save it, so it doesn't remember any of the changes that we've made to it. And the image that we've been working on now, we can save it by clicking File, Save As, and you should be saving right back in the original folder, but you should be changing the name. You can keep the cute_dog part, but you should be calling it something like blended or worked on, or whatever you did to the photo. You should say that that's what you just did to it. You can even put a date, like I did it on Wednesday, so that if you were looking for photos that maybe a week before or something like that, then you can see when you saved it, and it'll help you to locate and understand and remember what that photo was. Okay, there we go. So you save the photo, and that saves as a JPEG. I didn't actually mention that, but it should automatically save as a JPEG. If it doesn't, you just use the drop-down menu to find the JPEG selection and make sure it's saved that way. The quality of it, you can make it a large file, but you can probably keep it as the default, and you wouldn't have too many issues with it later on. So you can press OK. And there you go. Now you've saved your JPEG. I'll minimize this so you can see that. We'll go into your photos, your pictures, and into your IT, and there is your picture there, your blended cute dogs JPEG. Okay, now that being said, we also want to figure out what if we're in the middle of our Photoshop work and we haven't finished something. We want to keep working on that file. What do we do? So if that were the case, we'll open that back up again, and we have to save our file as something different. and we save it in a different place as well. So pressing the Save As, this time go to your Documents folder, and you don't want to save it as a JPEG this time, so you want to delete the where it says JPEG and go to your down arrow, and where it says Photoshop PSD, you want to have that selected, because a PSD file is a Photoshop file. So in your documents, you've got your blended cute dogs designation .psd. We'll take one of those dots out of there, make sure we've got it saved properly, and there we go. We can press save. Now if we were to close this, the way to go back into that file, that PSD file, would be to open up Photoshop. It's probably a better idea to go through your information technology folder to do it, this one here, and then open up your Photoshop rather than going to your documents and finding the file and double clicking on it. I tried that once and it opened up as Photoshop Elements, and I didn't want to use that program. So instead of that, just double click on this to open it, and go File, Open, and then navigate to your documents to find the file. Try that again. There we go. So your documents is there. Now find your Photoshop. Where are we here? There it is. Blended Cute Dogs PSD. So I made 2 of them because I practiced this once before I made this demo. There you go. You open it up, and there's your original file. Everything in the file should be there for you, and you can keep working wherever it was that you left off. Okay, so if you have any questions about this, you guys come up to front and we can talk. I'm sure we can sort things out. It's a good practice for you guys to pause the video and as you're going through it, so you can see what it was that it is that we're talking about, and you can back up a little bit and move forward a little bit and whatnot. It makes it easier for you to see it and hear it before you do it. Okay, anyways, have fun, and we'll see you later.